Is he not back yet? Found it, bruh. What happened to your pinky? Did you? Did you go on the weekend?
Jim back out in the line.
What about do you live near Jennings?
Nah, just moved to Flat Bacon Hill.
Beacon Hill. Whereabouts?
Do you know Oxford Road?
Excuse me. You near the school?
Yeah, like on the same road as the school, all the way up to the top part.
I like Beacon Hill Oval though.
Nah, like near West Coast Parkway.
I like Wakehurst Parkway.
Don't like it?
I like it.
Oh yeah, same.
I used to go fishing down the. I used to play for Manly down there. But my uncle, he's in the army, and he took me down fishing when I was young. He told me he was going to teach me how to fish, but I caught a fish before him. He was devastated.
Oh really?
I caught a bigger one. Took it home to his wife. Just a brim.
Cook it and eat it.
He was with prawns or something. But he used to get fresh oysters down there and eat them.
Nice.
He had a cattle dog and just get a knife out and where the water level is, you can eat they're good. And you can use them for bait too.
Right.
Like even the Chinese and that used to get down at Manly Beach and one night everything because they'd steal the shells, take them home. Then they got done in Manly too because everyone was catching under limit, and the seafood markets dropped their limits. So I think a bream was 20 centimetres, whiting was 14, flathead was 23 or something. Kingfish used to be 60, 54. My mate caught a dewey off pit water on the boat the other day. You know, New Bathrooms, have you seen him around with the white ute in Newport?
New bathrooms.
Yeah.
Got a company.
NU.
I don't think
Like
so.
a kid, like NU.
No, I don't think so.
His daughter cheerleads for Manly.
Oh really? She got?
I don't know.
I don't hope so.
I don't really care if she's cheerleading.
Cheerleading for the wrong thing.
But apparently she went overseas and she met someone. Like, he's worth like millions of dollars and shit.
Yeah, true.
But he was going out with a really rich woman, well known in Pittwater on the council, and then they had a divorce. But he was working in hotels for 10 years, and we used to do all this straight away. And out there, you know, Layden Hewitt's house, Avalon, Newport, Palm Beach, we were doing $20 million connections and all that. All these housewives, all their husbands on the stock exchange, and all the home and away, you know, cameras everywhere. Newport on the top point. We used to work for a guy called Kevin Monk, who was the 5th plumber in Australia. Old guy, carried around multi grips in the back of his pocket. Must be 88 now. He used to have hot rods in his bloody garage and work on them, you know, roadsters and 20s and 30s and 40s. And he'd get home and work on them, get up in the morning, work on them. But he used to do all the pub work and all that. I didn't know Newport Arms was still...
boys? Have a good rest. Energy.
Paulie! Get your rat out.
What's that just tree?
Paul,
Hold on.
how you been, system?
What's going on, Chris?
Not much, bruh. Just chilling. Is this last week, next week, Paul? Do you know?
Was that even English speak up?
Mo. Hold on. So we know what adventitious air is. Yep. The reason why we talk about adventitious air is the openings for the buildings prior to this 2013 adoption of the codes. Okay. Now the construction, the way construction is, they're building homes and houses and dwellings to actually contain heat. So once we obviously get the heat in there through numerous heat sources, the heat stays in there, so we decrease our energy use. Alright? So have you guys written that down? Mechanical ventilation, well we know what mechanical ventilation is, okay? The use of fans, okay? Some use of blowers, okay? A lot of the mechanical ventilation is linked with where it's physically not possible, okay, to get your outside air in there. So you'll bring it in via a ducted system, via some sort of fan. However, who knows what an interlock system is? What is an interlock system?
Dual, is it?
Sorry?
Is it sort of dual?
Yeah, so interlock, when we open a hot tap for an instantaneous, is that fan force getting rid of the byproducts, or is that natural?
Naturally, is it?
When you turn a hot water tap on and the instantaneous comes on, fan force. So if that fan doesn't work, would hot water come out? No, because that's got an interlock built into it. So if that fan is playing up, or there's a fault in the fan within that instantaneous, gas doesn't work, so you won't get hot water. The appliance will shut off. Okay? Similar to when you have your ducted systems, a lot of AC. Sometimes you see in like large commercial buildings, plant rooms, and you've got your large ducting, and then you've got fans cut into your ducting. Okay? So that's either bringing fresh air in or air supply. Similar with your flue type systems or your air intakes. It has to be connected with your gas supply. So if the power goes out and that fan's not operating, the hot water heaters go out. It's like when you're in large commercial buildings and they have a plant room with a bank of hot water heaters. Okay? The bank of hot water heaters, when there is a fire alarm, okay, the power trips from the fire alarm, because the power goes out when they trip.
Yeah, it works bad.
Yep. The actual fans will go out. So every time when I used to do some property and facilities management in town, actually with Kavanagh's brother, James Kavanagh.
Really?
Sorry?
Kavanagh, did you say?
Yeah. Anyway.
He's your boss, eh?
No.
Yeah, mate,
what I
you said.
was saying is when the fire trip went, you'd have to then run around to the plant rooms. It was like level 18, 34, 52, and you'd have to go and restart the actual fans, because when the power tripped, you didn't want any fresh air coming in, because what happens when you throw fresh air into a fire?
Lose your money.
Right?
Did you say lose your money?
What happens when you throw fresh air into a fire?
Burns
What is that?
Yeah, okay, you're adding part of the combustion triangle. So, similar interlock system, okay? Gas, no power for the fan or the ventilation, shuts the gas off, okay? Now, when you have large commercial buildings where you've got loading docks and car parks all below street level, basements, do we have a lot of our appliances, gas appliances, down low of a building? No. Yeah, most of the time on a roof or halfway up the building where you can see, if you look up some of your buildings, you can actually tell which areas are plant rooms, because you've got the air intake around the grills, okay? But we don't have a lot of our gas appliances installed in our basements or our loading docks, because what happens if, what happens when they're built, you know, not with fresh air around them? What do you got to do? You've got to flue it.
Yeah.
So, costly and expensive to get flues and to get the byproducts of combustion out of the building.
Through massive vents, from straight across the other building, through monster vents over there.
Yeah, monster vents there, so you can tell where the actual plant room is. If you go over here, you can see it. There's one cut into the actual, yeah, both there. So that there is the actual plant room. That's where you're getting your fresh air intake, because you've got natural gas appliances in there, or some sort of appliances that require air. Might need fresh air intakes for mechanical. Don't draw on the blocks, please. Okay.
I was rubbing it out.
Alright, so what I'm saying is we don't have our large banks of heaters, manifolds, our boilers all usually below ground. In some cases, maybe the design, it has to be down in the lower car park or the basement of the loading dock.
Put it wherever you can, wherever's accessible.
Yeah, but you want it, it's going to be designed where it's got fresh air intake, okay? Because it's cost effective.
On the plane.
Yeah, on the plant rooms. You build a loading dock or a plant room well below street level, what do you got to do? It's costly to get, you'll have to have service ducts, you'll have to run flues. It has to be accessible. Well, how do you clean those flues? So by having the design of the building built where you've got large amounts of fresh air intake, usually up high or on the roof, someone suggested, it's one, cost effective as well. Okay, so you don't walk into those large buildings and see your appliances built down in car parks or loading docks. Because you can't get fresh air in. Yes, you can, obviously by mechanical means, mechanical ventilation, or you've got to get the flue products out, which is going to be costly as well. So just write down what mechanical ventilation is and what an interlock system is. Okay, just write a couple of those notes if you can.
That touched like it's about a week old.
Vernon, how are you going, my friend? Are you writing notes down, my friend? Hey?
Yeah. Interlocking systems.
Have you ever worked on the units, Vernon? Where all the stuff comes out the tin roof?
Tin roof,
Yeah, like all the penetrations come up the top.
Yeah.
Have you done any good jobs at it? Any creams? I did
You
one.
can make it a week, Jazzy.
I did one a few weeks ago.
Make it a month. Make it 6
We did just a water piping job.
Because us.
I only worked for the day.
Last
But
night.
Yeah. Day's job.
I got good money off my old man, but yeah, I cleaned up.
Dude, like, have a couple cones, like,
Cleaned up
on
the
a
whole
weekend,
day.
you know, once every 2 weeks.
A couple of days.
Like, once you get that
Cleaned up
stuff
the
done
materials
every day,
too. We just did welding.
Good money.
We don't use plastic anymore. But we got forced to. We got forced how to learn how to do it. It's frustrating, eh? When these, some kids know how to do it, you don't.
You guys got that?
Have you ever used gas?
Sorry?
Yellow.
So,
Use it. Couple of.
yeah.
Cheers. Good stuff. So can we watch any videos on Gemini doing the mains?
When?
If we want to join Gemini?
Why you want to join Gemini?
I'm just saying, can we watch YouTube videos on gas mains?
Not
You know
yet.
the old like Italians?
We're just doing ventilation at the moment. When we get to the gas mains, we can get onto that.
Do they have the big vents in the Gemini? Like in the street and all that?
They probably would, probably for sewer, yeah.
Isn't there one at North Sydney, but like sewer, and it's a big brick one that goes right like...
Yeah, that's up there at Falcon Street.
Are they going to change that?
I'm not sure. So mechanical ventilation, okay. Now ventilation, okay. It's all in the planning stage. Like any job, okay. You guys work for your bosses. They send you to a job to do the rough in for ABC building. Got a rough in to do today. Drainage, water. You're gonna be here for 2 days, okay. He's gonna send you there knowing that he's planned. You've got access to the building. You've got access to the bathroom. He's got your chaser on site. He's got your timber noggins there. You've got the builder and the client there in the plans. You're marking out. Okay? Everything as well with gas installation, it all comes down to planning, especially with your ventilation. Okay? Where is the plant room located? Where's the appliances going to be installed? Does it have sufficient ventilation? Do we have to cut in additional vents? Whose responsibility is that? Comes back to us, but you want to coordinate it with the builder. Okay? Have a look at the plans, review the plans. Okay? Take measurements of the room if you have to. Sometimes do a site check. Not always. Are you working from the most updated plans? Okay, so planning is everything. Okay, what do they say is failure to plan is planning to fail. Okay, so what you need to do is turn up. Okay, make sure you know where the closest suppliers are, the Reese, the Tradelink, the co-ops. Okay, do you get to site and then get a materials list and then get a delivery, or do you get all that prep and turn up a site with everything you need? Okay, so
Get there, make a list, then go. Charge them for the time.
yes, but while you're driving, you could be marking out. You could be starting to rough in, put noggins in.
I think Andrew tells us he does that pipe sizing before he starts.
Sorry?
Andrew told us he does pipe sizing every time he does a job, still to
Andrew
this
or
day.
Paul? It was Paul.
Andrew.
Yeah,
You
of
know how
course.
you
Well,
kind of the
bite-size,
meters, yeah, well,
100%.
he still says he actually gets the plans and then works it all out.
Yeah, for sure.
It's hectic. So he says he's in there with his diary, 1, 2 times that, 5, like everything.
That's what you're gonna do. That's what you're gonna do. Be
That's what